West Ham have lost 1-0 to Everton at the London Stadium. It's safe to say that West Ham have been completely and utterly Sean-diced. We're going to talk about a few things from the game. We're going to start with some positives, though, for West Ham. We're going to talk about Kudus' performance, who I think is going to be like a really good one of the best midfielders probably in the Premier League this season. And then Bowen, who had a sort of weird first half and start to the game, and then got himself into it and started playing quite well. Although, yeah, it was just a frustrating game. I was there, and they went 1-0 up Everton from... Probably should have had 3 though, Everton. We should have had quite a few goals. But it's just so frustrating when we were completely dominant after Everton scored. And apart from the few breaks that we probably should have conceded from, I think we were really unlucky not to get a goal back. A few mistakes in the final third, a lot of mistakes in the final third that were made that could have gone to goal scoring chances. But yeah, it was all in Everton's half after their goal. Just frustrating, we couldn't get anything out of it. But that result is, like, if we're going to be contending for the top half realistically this season, we can't be dropping points to Everton. And it's 3 losses on the bounce now for West Ham. And Brentford's looking like a really tough one for next week. Anyway, Kudus' performance, I think I don't think he lost the ball, and if he did, he got it back as soon as he lost it. He just keeps the ball so well, and like we were watching him, and I just think he's going to be such a good player, and he's going to be pivotal for West Ham. Paqueta probably needs some more time to settle in. He's getting used to the Premier League now more than he was, but he still needs to, if he pulls off his skills, then fair play to him, but he needs to maybe not risk it in our half quite a bit. Everton's 12-point deduction we're going to talk about as well. They have got a 12-point deduction. Now they've got 3 back from it with our game. But that's going to be like pivotal for them, and that could be maybe the only thing that keeps this season from not being the same 3 teams that come up go down. Because, like, unless they can get well-needed points like this, like against West Ham, then they're going to go down, especially with 12 points. And I don't think that they can... The teams that I've had in mind going down, obviously Sheffield United, Luton, and now maybe Burnley. Not Wolves anymore, actually. But I don't see Everton finishing 12 points ahead of them. I don't think there'll be that much of a gap. So that's just like knocked Everton off quite a lot more. Was it a lucky result for Everton, though? They probably should have had a few more goals, although West Ham were completely dominant. It was a bit like what West Ham did against Brighton that time, where they had all the ball, but we were the ones who scored the goals, and ultimately that was what it was. I think that it was a bit of luck for Everton, although also you've got to say it, some solid defending. I think I've forgotten the name. There was like a tall blonde one at the back for Everton that had a very, very good game. A few scraps as well, to be honest, from Everton players and West Ham players. A West Ham player was kicked on the ground. That was how Kudus and Pickford got their yellow cards. Like, he needs to be careful, Kudus, and Paqueta, I think he got a yellow card. But it's a different game, the Premier League. I've got on my notes Pickford, because Pickford just pisses me off with his time wasting. I know if it was the other way round, if Areola was doing that, I wouldn't get as wound up. But with him being the England keeper, you sort of have to have a bit of sympathy for him. But he just pisses me off with all he does with his time wasting. He just seems like a cocky person, and yeah, that's why I've got Pickford there on my notes. Everton's performance, I think that Everton, they didn't really deserve to win, but the one thing that they can take out of it is that they've got a goal scorer, and even though Calvert-Lewin was the one who scored the goals, they've not got what West Ham. They've got what West Ham haven't got. So, what West Ham need, they need a consistent goal scorer. They need someone like an Nketiah. They need just someone who can consistently score goals, because it's good when you have a team that can get goals from all around the pitch, but not when we play like that and we create all these chances and we can't score from them because we have no one who can score the goals. Danny Ings, who we were talking about him after the game, who came on. Danny Ings, I think, had he had no chances, but we were saying how at Southampton and at Villa he was a consistent goal scorer. That's why we got him to score goals. Although Moyes has played him, he's used to being played as like a 2, as a striking 2, the strike partner. Same with at Villa, but Moyes hasn't done that at West Ham, and that's why he's struggling, I think. So I think if we are going to play Ings, you need someone next to him. Antonio just seems like quite a lazy striker, to be honest. Like, he does get stuck in, and he's good because he's strong and he's somewhat fast against the Everton defenders. But he's just frustrating. He had a chance in the first half where it came to him on the right-hand side of the box, and he faffed about with it and lost the ball. He's just one of those players. Another clean sheet lost. One clean sheet. We've got one clean sheet in the last 20 games. 2 if you count the Lincoln game, but that doesn't really count. We need to turn that around, because if we're gonna win games, if we don't have a consistent goal scorer, as I was saying, we can't concede many per game. And I think against Brentford, that is going to be a problem. So we'll see how that turns out. Anyway, some other good games today, which was good to watch. And see you next time. Goodbye.